It's always for something.
Appreciate all of you hanging out with us. I know many of you also beginning your holiday trips all over the country and probably around the world, and we appreciate you spending time with us on this Tuesday. A lot to dive into. Elon Musk has filed suit against Media Matters. I'm going to run through this suit and explain to you why I think it could be one of the most significant and consequential lawsuits as it pertains to online information and disinformation and how we even classify both. I have read the lawsuit. It is going to be utterly fascinating to see how this plays out in the great state of Texas. I will discuss the hostage situation in Gaza. It's now been 45 days since October 7th for many of these hostages to have been held in Gaza. There are reports that some of them may be released today. I will discuss and continue to update you on that. Joe Biden posted a birthday cake. I don't know how many candles are on it, but we're lucky the White House didn't burn down like it did back in the War of 1812. We will discuss Joe Biden's 81st birthday and whether or not, as Vivek Ramaswamy just tweeted, Joe Biden has basically reached his extent of usefulness, and they will soon be shunting him off the stage and trying to replace him. Again, I'll read that from Vivek. We will break that down. And after yesterday's big debate, discussion, analysis, I had to go pick up my 15-year-old at the airport, and I am doubling and tripling down and quadrupling down. No adult should get picked up at the airport. It is impossible to even get to airports right now. The arrival terminal last night in the Nashville area would have taken you potentially an hour or more to drive by and pick up someone. It is mass chaos all over the country, as this is expected to be, I think, the biggest week for travel ever for Thanksgiving. I think finally all the COVID idiots out there are willing to get back on airplanes. So most people traveling for Thanksgiving since 2019, a lot of you on the roads and on the skies all over this country. We will discuss that. I'll also open up phone lines. You can take issue with anything I say. We can have some fun. 800-282-2882. But I want to begin with this Elon Musk lawsuit against Media Matters. If you're not familiar with what happened, Media Matters wrote a big article alleging that many of the top brands that advertise on Twitter, now renamed X, were having their advertisements appear in close connection to content that many would consider to be unacceptable. That is anti-Semitic content, things of that nature. And before we get into analyzing that lawsuit, because I do believe that this lawsuit, which has been filed in the state of Texas, has the potential to bankrupt this site, Media Matters, I think a lot of you don't know what Media Matters does. Basically, the way that I would explain this is Media Matters exists to try to cancel people who have opinions that they do not like and try to destroy the underpinnings of financial support for anyone trying to make a living in media. I first became aware of them when they wrote about me for the first time, and I put this on the back of my last book, but I think many of you will find this intriguing. The very first time that Media Matters wrote about me in earnest was in 2017. And this is their headline that is still up on their site. Clay Travis is a racist conspiracy theorist, and his credo is all women are sluts. That was the very first article that Media Matters ever wrote about me. That was in September of 2017.
That's kind of true, actually. So I
and they
wouldn't
then
be getting
put
mad
me
about
in a
something that's
graphic
true.
where it's a picture of me. And by the way, not a flattering picture. Not that people look at me and think, you know what, that guy should be on the cover of GQ. Not that people look at me and think that's the most attractive man I've ever seen in my life. But, for a radio guy, I'm not awful looking. Unflattering photo. And on the T-shirt that they put, the T-shirt graphic that they have, it says, I am terrible. And they just took my head and put it on.
Connection failed.
When I first started doing television, I went out to Fox Sports, and they had a photo shoot. And I said, I'm going to be on vacation. Is this going to be an issue? I'm taking my kids on vacation right before school starts. Do I need to be there for the photo shoot? And they were like, no, don't worry about it at all. This is 100% true. Those of you listening out in the Los Angeles area, if you ever drive by the Fox lot at the intersection of Pico and Motor in West LA, they have a lot of different billboards that they put out on the side of the Fox lot that you can see from Pico and Motor. I don't know, millions of people probably drive by that area over the course of a year for sure. It's a very prominent area in LA, lots of traffic. They put up billboards to advertise all the new shows. They put up a billboard to advertise the new show that I was on. This is in 2013. Never would have thought that I would ever be on a billboard. I was like, this is awesome. It was my picture with Aaron Andrews, Joel Klatt, Eddie George, Petros Papadakis, Mike Pereira. We were doing a college football pregame show. And I drive by, and everybody's like, this is going to be so cool. You're on a billboard. Like, I was excited. I was going to take a picture. I was going to text it to my wife, my mom. I pull up in front of the billboard, and I just look at it, and I think to myself, it's not a very flattering photo of me. What is it's on a big billboard. It's a big picture. The largest billboard you can imagine. And it's the first time I've ever been on a billboard, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, I'm really ugly. Like, what happened here? How did I take the worst photo ever, and why do I look so incredibly fake? I looked like, humbly, a dead person who had makeup on in a casket, except they had put it on a billboard on the side of a building in L.A. And I'm sitting there looking at the picture of myself, and I just can't figure out what happened. So the day goes on. This thing's up for like a month. Keep driving into the L.A. lot, looking at myself on the billboard. And then I think, I look, and I'm like, man, that doesn't even look like my body. I don't know that I have that suit. And I'm looking at the billboard for longer, and I'm like, what is going
on? Dude, I hate
And then I see my arm,
hate working on cars.
and I've got a watch on.
My boss is
And I don't even own a
crazy
watch.
stupid
Not a watch guy.
doing that to
And I'm like, wait a minute,
employees.
that's my face.
Fucking
on
20-hour
somebody
days,
else's body.
basically. No fucking
I
breaking.
didn't show up for the photo shoot, and so they photoshopped my face on a totally different person, and they just airbrushed it, and they thought nobody was going to notice, and I think I was the only person who ever noticed. It wasn't even me. It was actually Petros Papadakis, who does radio in L.A. We don't look anything alike. They didn't even put me, no offense to Petros, they didn't even put me on the best-looking guy's body that was there. Petros and I once did a show where they put us with Brady Quinn, Matt Leinart, and Joel Klatt, 3 former college quarterbacks who between the 3 of them have about 1% body fat and are probably 3 of the best-looking people to ever play quarterback, and they put me and Petros side by side in the middle of them, and we felt like we were being pranked. But they didn't put me on any of the good-looking quarterback bodies. They put me on Petros' body, and then they just pasted my face in. So I'm thinking about that. As I look at this, they did that to me on Media Matters, too. By the way, if you ever have an opportunity to go to a photo shoot, go. Don't listen to them when they say, oh, it doesn't matter. Nobody even ever told me that they did it. They didn't ask me. It says I'm terrible. They photoshopped me in with somebody else. Some of these other headlines. COVID-denying Fox Sports host brings Trump onto a show to spread more lies about the disease in college athletics. That was, by the way, for saying that we should play college football and college athletics in general and high school sports in 2020. I was a COVID denying. I don't even know what that means. Like, you don't believe that COVID exists? I don't even know where that headline came from. To spread more lies about the disease in college athletics. So these are like the first several articles they wrote. And then when Buck and I started this show, and I sold Outkick to Fox, they really stepped it up. And there are dozens of articles now about me. And the difference between initial attacks, the initial attacks are designed to try to keep you from being able to go on television. So they attacked me when I went on Tucker Carlson for the first time and tried to get Fox to be nervous about putting you on television because their goal is to cancel you from being able to appear on television. And then as you rise in the ranks of media, they move to trying to cancel your show, to try to cancel your ability to be able to make a living. And look, I'm a First Amendment absolutist. You're listening to the guy who went on CNN and said, and still is banned, by the way, on CNN for saying the only two things I believe in 100% are the First Amendment and boobs. So if people disagree with me, I'm 100% open to the idea that you can think that I am wrong, that I am an awful human being. But there's a difference between disagreeing with the arguments that I make and trying to prevent me from ever being able to make a living. Now, I fought through it. I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate to be on this show. I'm fortunate to be able to run Outkick. But there are a lot of people that they have managed to cancel. And there are a lot of shows that they have managed to prevent from being able to monetize themselves. And so what they do is try to get advertisers not to support your program. I love all the advertisers that support this program, but just think about it. There's not a single car that advertises on this program. I would venture to say most of you drive automobiles. There's not a single beer that advertises on this program, beer or liquor. I would venture to say that quite a few of you for Thanksgiving will actually go out and decide that you might have an alcoholic beverage. There's not a single fast food restaurant or sit-down restaurant that advertises on this program. I would venture to say that all of you out there eat. There's not a single, what I would call major brand that advertises on this program. I mean, huge, multi-billion-dollar company. Why is that? Because they went after Rush for all of the things that he says on this program, and they've continued that attack on us because places like Media Matters aren't content with fighting a battle over ideas. They want to cancel. They just had an article up recently saying, hey, Clay Travis needs to be banned from YouTube because he said the COVID shot is worthless. I think it is worthless. I think if you humbly are out there getting the COVID shot right now, you are an imbecile with a single-digit IQ. And you probably are voting for Joe Biden. Because I think, and by the way, only 14% of Americans have gotten the new updated COVID booster shot. So 86% of Americans are saying, yeah, I think I'll do without that. Because they have recognized that the COVID shot, I believe, is the single greatest fraud from a pharmacy perspective, from a science perspective, that has ever been perpetrated on any of us in the 21st century. They told us, hey, if you get this shot, you'll never get COVID. You only need to do it once. What are we on now? If you actually listen to Dr. Fauci and company, like your 8th booster, and you're still going to get COVID this fall, this winter, if there were not immunity given to Pfizer and Moderna, I believe that both of those companies would be bankrupt now because the plaintiff lawyers would have all filed the lawsuits and they would be having to stand trial for the lies and the fraud that they have perpetrated. Media Matters exists to try to keep me from being able to say that. By the way, if you disagree and you're like, the COVID shot is the greatest thing that's ever existed in mankind's history, I plan to get 963 COVID shots before I die. More power to you. Go get 963 COVID shots and get COVID 965 times, and you can make that choice for you and your family for the rest of your life. I don't believe you should be canceled for arguing that. I think you're an idiot. I think you are buying into complete lies. I think your brain doesn't work. But you're entitled to make that argument, and you're entitled to make that choice. Media Matters doesn't exist to actually make arguments. They exist to keep you and me from making arguments, and to try and keep someone like me from being able to talk to all of you. And what Elon Musk has done, and I'm going to dive into this lawsuit because I think it is so incredibly important. What he has done is say, wait a minute, what they do is profoundly in their capacity. He's laid out in his lawsuit that he filed in Texas why he believes that they should have to stand trial for fraud that he believes they perpetrated against this company. Bravo to him. Also, Attorney General of Texas Ken Paxton has said they're opening an investigation into Media Matters. Well, listen to me right now, because I know a lot of different states out there have politicians as well as their staffs that listen. If you are in a red state right now, you should, as the Attorney General of that state, in my opinion, open up your own investigations into Media Matters and what they are trying to do and who funds them and what exactly is going on in the fraud that they are perpetrating to try to restrict the First Amendment in this country. I'm going to break down why this is so important. I'm going to lay out the accusations, but I wanted to let you know what this company is and why they are coming after, frankly, all of you for what we talk about on a daily basis on this program. And it's not just Media Matters, but they are probably the most well-funded and the most aggressive in perpetrating fraud, I believe, to try to restrict what the First Amendment marketplace of ideas is able to include. Artificial intelligence dominating headlines in the tech world. The impact of AI undeniable. According to tech expert Colin Teddards, this is just the beginning of a new era that can make you wealthier than ever before with the right information. In Colin's mind, one mega tech company that's all in on AI. Companies spent over $200 billion on AI. Think about it, $200 billion with a B. And he's confident anyone who gets shares in this supplier today could see massive gains. Some billionaires already in a buying frenzy. Get all the details online at the website, newaiproject.com. Is this a once-in-a-lifetime investing opportunity? You can read his argument and you can decide. Again, newaiproject.com. Check it out. They do interesting work on a variety of different companies making the case for what is going to be the next generation of successful companies in many different fields, including AI. But this one in particular focused on AI. Go check it out, newaiproject.com, paid for by Brownstone Research. That is newaiproject.com.
One truth revealed after another. Clay Travis and Fox Texas. KFBK, Sacramento's news radio. Everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Clay and Buck listeners can enjoy reliving their meaningful memories for an insane 65% off. Legacy Box, the best gift for you or a family member. And during our Black Friday event, there's never been a better time to preserve your past. Legacy Box starts at only $27, with savings of over $400 when you digitize your whole collection. Legacy Box is simple and safe. We digitize everything by hand here in the USA. You'll get your originals back, plus digital copies that protect your tapes, film reels, and photos from floods, mold, even the decay of time. Make the holidays special and shop our best deal of the year. Visit LegacyBox.com to shop our Black Friday event and take an unreal 65% off. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast. The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Buy your Legacy Box today and send it when you're ready. That's LegacyBox.com/PlayandBuck to take 65% off. LegacyBox.com/PlayandBuck.
When to sell your home is always a tough decision, but when you go with Tom and Johnny at Tom Dave's Team EXP, they make the transition smooth and stress-free. A lot of sellers wonder if they missed the boat on all of those Bay Area buyers looking for homes in the Sacramento region. I asked Johnny Jennings.
Bay Area buyers still make up approximately 15 to 17% of the buyers in today's market. We have a special Bay Area buyer marketing plan, so they're strong, they're qualified buyers, and they're looking to close.
Tom and Johnny also have a proven plan for those looking to sell and leave the state.
We're starting to hear more about Tennessee and the Carolinas, specifically South Carolina. We're hearing more people go to South Carolina if they're looking to retire, because we actually have relationships with agents in those states, the best agents in those states, that are going to treat our clients as if they're family.
A seamless transition and the best price. You can count on Tom and Johnny at the Tom Dave's Team EXP. 855-TOM-DAVE. That's 855-TOM-DAVE. Or TomDaves.com. TomDaves.com.
Celebrate Thanksgiving by saving at Rayleigh's in Bel Air. This week, Rayleigh's 3-day fresh natural turkey, raised with no antibiotics ever, is on sale for just 97 cents a pound when it once. Save big on your Turkey Day feast, only at Rayleigh's in Bel Air.